This video is sponsored by EV Wash. So first we had the regular e-tron, the kind of SUV Q series sized car, and now we've got the Audi RS e-tron GT. The RS stands for Rennsport in German, which translates to racing sport in English. The e-tron meaning it is part of Audi's electrified lineup, and the GT standing for Gran Turismo. So you've got a mix of luxury and performance. The concept for this vehicle was released back in 2018 now at the LA Auto Show and went into production at the end of 2020 with deliveries starting early last year. And fun fact, this is actually the first Audi that is fully electric and manufactured in their home country of Germany. And this new e-tron comes in a few trims. You've got the Premium Plus trim, you've got the Prestige trim, and you've got the fully loaded RS trim that starts at over $142,000, officially making this the most expensive EV I've driven for the channel, and likely the most expensive car I've ever driven. As for specs, we've got a 0 to 60 time of 3.1 seconds and an estimated range from the EPA of around 232 miles. And if those specs sound familiar, that's because this Audi e-tron GT actually shares the same platform as the Porsche Taycan. And overall, they share around 40% of the same parts, so you'll see a lot of similarities throughout this overview. On the exterior, we've got the Tango Red metallic paint, which I think looks great on this car, really adds to the sportiness and makes this car pop. And you've also got red calipers, seat belts, and stitching to match the paint. Up front, there's actually an option to make this front grille body colored, so this could have been optioned to be red, but I think the black actually looks really good on this spec. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of the front grille. I think they could have done some things differently here, especially being an EV and a sportier car like this. There is no need for a front grille, and I'm not sure why these faux grilles are so popular. This is my probably only gripe about the exterior of the car though. I think the rest looks really nice. For wheels, we actually have the 21-inch 5-spoke Aero design that we saw on the original concept in 2018. We're seeing a lot of these Aero style design wheels on EVs, and I think the e-tron GT pulls these off really well and fits with the exterior design of the car. For charging, we've actually got 2 charge ports. Yes, 2, just like the Porsche Taycan. Both front body panels have charge ports, however the driver's side only has the J plug for level 2 charging, while the passenger side has that full CCS port, so you can do either level 2 or DC fast charging. And I really wish more EVs would add this dual charge port design. I think it makes things a lot easier, especially on level 2 stations when you're trying to parallel park your car and plug in. I know sometimes I have to reach the plug across the car just so I can plug in, or I have to try to park against traffic so that the charge port can reach where the cable is supposed to plug in. So definitely would make things a lot easier if I have charge ports on both sides of the car. But back to actually charging the e-tron, this is also on the 800 volt battery system, just like the Taycan, and it can handle up to 270 kW charging with a quoted 5 to 80% charge in around 22 minutes, which adds an estimated 180 miles. So some insane charging speeds there if you can find a 270 kW station. And it also includes 3 years of complimentary charging on Electrify America's network. So charging wise, this is quite the deal and definitely gonna get the job done. As for storage, there is a small frunk up front. Shout out to Ryan from the Kilowatts for showcasing this for us. Probably big enough for a small backpack or duffel bag, but nothing crazy up here. And in the rear, you do have a normal trunk, and the back seats do fold down for a pass-through if you do need to move some bigger items. And if you're a fan of carbon fiber, you will absolutely love this car because it is everywhere. You've got carbon fiber front vents, you've got carbon fiber side mirrors, carbon fiber rear diffuser, even a carbon fiber roof to reduce weight. Before we move on to the interior, let's talk about today's video sponsor, EV Wash. Not only is EV Wash a great detailing product, but they're also good for the planet, which is a big reason I love them. So these products are 100% biodegradable. They're also reducing a lot of single-use plastic waste that can come with washing your car. So these bottles, if you can hear this, put it down by the mic here, these are actually aluminum. They are not those cheap plastic bottles that you see a lot of other products come in. So they are reusable, and when it's time to refill them, you fill them up with these refills right here that come in a paper bag that is also recyclable and biodegradable. And they actually plant 1 tree for every bottle or refill sold. So definitely check out EV wash, and if you want to get a discount, you can use my code ALEX30 for 30% off your purchase. Now let's get back to the video. Those carbon fiber accents continue to the interior, where we've got carbon fiber door accents, door sills, dashboard, and I'm probably missing some, but this is really well done. I think carbon fiber can be overdone sometimes, and I think this matte carbon really tones it down and just blends into the interior nicely. But overall, looking at the interior, I think this might be the weakest part of this car. It really just feels outdated in a lot of ways, especially when screens and software have become such a big part of modern cars. And don't get me wrong, this still feels very premium, but in a lot of ways, I think the interior could have fit in the mid-2010s better than it does in modern day. But screens and software is not why you buy an Audi. It's for the driving experience. And as soon as I hopped in this car and started driving, this is easily the sportiest feeling EV I have been in. Now, I haven't driven the Porsche Taycan, but I have driven some other performance EVs. I drove the Plaid and some other cars, but all of them still feel like luxury sedans. And when I hopped in this GT, you sit low to the ground, the steering is really tight, and it feels like a sports car. It's probably the closest any EV has come to my old Scion FRS that I had before my Model 3, just with exceptionally more performance, obviously. Damn. Balance quick. I only got to drive this for about 15 to 20 minutes, but I can tell you this is the best driving experience I've had in an EV, and definitely if you're somebody that likes driving and likes the performance feel of a sports car, this Audi e-tron will definitely get the job done. And to add to that overall sporty feel, this car probably has the best faux engine sound I have heard in an EV. It's got this electronic sound with a little bit of rumble that makes it sound aggressive and sporty. And I didn't think I wanted my car to make a sound until I heard the sound that this Audi makes. And being so used to driving an EV, I'm used to not hearing anything while I'm driving around, but driving this car made me want a sound in my car again, which I think is a testament to the work Audi has done to create this sound and really blended into the car experience very well. But overall, I thought this was a great car from Audi, definitely a good first step into the performance EV market outside of SUVs and crossovers. I think the big highlights of this car are that driving experience and just the overall car feel when you're sitting in the cockpit. But the negatives here might be range and just the overall interior, I think could be updated a little bit. But again, you are not buying this car for a long range EV. You are buying this because it is sporty, because it sticks out, and because it's an Audi. And that'll do it for today's video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments, or if you have any other questions. And as always, make sure you're liked and subscribed so you don't miss future videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.